Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Piera and today we're talking about Serpent and Dove. So Serpent and Dove is a new YA fantasy release in which we follow a young witch as she is forced to marry and then hide from a witch hunter. And it is fucking brilliant. Now this is one that I'd heard lots of hype about. I didn't really know too much about it, but I heard witch, falls in love with witch hunter, enemies to lovers, and I was like, sign me the fuck up. Those are all my favorite things. So as soon as I picked it up, I started and I shit you not, I read this much in like one night. I couldn't stop reading it and then I just finished it the other day. Great. I mean, you know how I am with YA at the moment because I know it's not written for me and I'm kind of growing out of it. But it was still great because it was like more adult YA. I feel like I get more out of more adult YA, such as like the protagonist like 18, or it just seems more mature. Mature is not the word, but you know what I mean. So I really enjoyed it. I really liked the protagonist. I thought she was cool. The enemies to lovers trope, I feel like could have gone deeper. And I would have liked it if it had gone deeper, but I still liked where it was at. I found for a book about witches and witch hunters, there wasn't enough witchy elements for me. Coming from my family of witches and myself occasionally identifying as a witch depending on my mood, there wasn't enough witchiness. Like there was some blood witchery and there was some like, I want to say like thread witchery, but not the kind of witchery I was expecting. There's a lot of French influence in this book as well. Like there's lots of like French names and French dialogue and French things. I think it could have even been set in France. I don't even know. I was too busy enjoying it. So that was my non-spoiler section. So if you haven't read the book and don't want to be spoiled, bugger off and then come back. So things I loved about this book, first was Lou. I loved that she sweared. I love that she gave no fucks. I love that she wasn't a virgin and therefore took Reed's virginity. I liked that Reed was a virgin because in YA books, you never get the men are the virgins and you watch the man have their first time. It's always the girl having her first time, and to watch Reed have his first time was adorable. To say like that it hurt, even better. Like I remember my first time. That motherfucker was painful. And I feel like in YA books or even in books, like you don't see a first time being painful. It's like, it hurt, but then I got over it. It's like, bitch, I was walking funny for a week. Like, I don't understand. And so I appreciate that there was that acknowledgement of that it hurt. And that it wasn't just like fucking fireworks and la-di-da. So I appreciate that, thank you. I liked the female friendship. I liked that there was no animosity there. I thought that was cool. There are a few bits that I found pretty predictable, like Reed's entire heritage. I was like, okay, cool, so that's his mum, that's probably his dad. I didn't see the Archbishop being Lou's dad. I thought that was pretty interesting. I found it interesting that the mother wanted to kill the daughter. I thought that was like a really cool sort of backwardsy, twisty, because like a lot of witch books is very, I mean, apart from every other witch book that I've ever read, it's a very feminine sort of matriarchal system where it's all like sisters and mothers and all that sort of stuff. And to have the main part of the story was that the daughter was afraid of the mother interested me because I'm into a villain story. What? I don't know what's going on with this. I touched it and now it's going crazy. Yeah, like I said, not enough witchy stuff for me. There was a lot of blood witchery and like I called it thread witchery, but it was whatever Lou had. Finding out Reed was a male witch was kind of cool. I'm interested to see what that does in book 2. Ansel was a cool character. The thing that I did find really interesting was Reed's devotion. And I guess religion is probably the closest thing I can relate it to is, you know, how heavily devout like some Christians are and some Mormons are and some other religions, and I'm not religious at all, except Wicca is probably my religion and I don't even really classify that as a religion. See, they're devout, like, no, these people are wrong, I hate these people, but then not knowing enough about those people. Specifically like what we see with Reed, how he's like, I hate witches, witches are wrong, but then he goes and falls in love with a witch and then he's like, but she's a witch, but I love her, but she's inherently bad, but I love her. And then the instant reaction to when he finds out she's a witch is like, no, fuck you, you're dead to me. And then when Lou's telling him about witches and he's like, oh, I didn't know that was what happened. And she's like, what are they teaching you? Like, at least if you're gonna hate something, at least know what it is before you do. Yeah, I just wanted more witchy stuff. And enemies to lovers trope, I kind of, like I said, I liked it, but I wish there was more to it. I love when like the man is all like straight ramrod, soft and gentle, and the girl's just like a complete feral and he loves her anyway. I love that, but I just wanted more of it. I wanted it to go deeper. I wanted them to be more in love and like, yeah, it was cute. I did like it. I don't know what's going to happen in book 2. I have no idea where it's going. I mean, obviously there's going to be a bit about like Reed being a male witch and his mum probably is going to be there, and then the whole thing with the king, and technically Beau's his half brother, which is kind of cool. I like that Beau was like, I don't think it was even ever explained, like Beau is the king's son, and the king's all about like eradicating witches, and he ends up essentially, I assume he sleeps with Coco, and Coco's like, surprise, I'm a witch, and Beau's like, yeah, cool, whatever, like magic's sick. And I was just like, I'm wondering if they're going to try and put Beau in like a position of power because he's more receptive to witches. Interested, unsure. Anyway, overall, I really liked it. Like, yeah, there was a bit of cliche and there were a bit of moments that I didn't love, but overall, I liked it a lot. So I highly recommend that you pick up Serpent and Dove because it's a bit fucking cute. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye!